Hello and welcome to this week's science lesson. Today we're talking about bugs, right Tim? And he's a little bit intimidated because I got some pretty big bugs to show you. First thing we want to know is an insect has how many parts? How many parts? Three, and they are called the what?
The head, the abdomen.
The abdomen. And what's the middle one?
The abdomen.
Is the thorax. Head, thorax, and abdomen. We also have wings, we also have legs, we also have compound eyes, and we have antenna. These are the parts of our insect. Now for comparison, now the thorax has how many legs? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Insects always have 6 legs and 2 pairs of wings. There are some exceptions, but for the most part that is true. To compare, let's look at a spider. This spider, if we roll her over a little bit, has her head and thorax combined in a cephalothorax. So this insect has a cephalothorax, and it's not an insect. This arachnid has a cephalothorax and an abdomen. 2 body parts instead of 3. She also has 2, 4, 6, 8 legs instead of 6 legs. That is what makes arachnids different from insects. To compare, we have here a wind scorpion, which is the one right here. Wind scorpion has 10 legs. An actual scorpion has 10 legs. And it's essentially a cephalothorax and an abdomen as well. All right, so that's your difference between what is an insect and what is not an insect, okay? Which one do you want to look at first? Mew. Mew. We have dragonflies, and this dragonfly very clearly has a head, a thorax, and an abdomen, 6 legs, and 2 pairs of wings. If we look over at this katydid right here, I spread out one of her pairs of wings. You can see that the first pair of wing is harder. It provides a little bit of lift, and the second wing is flexible, and it provides some power. So we still have 3 body parts, 6 legs, and 2 wings. Here, Tim, step up for a second. We're going to open a different box. Okay?
Because they're scary.
I know, they're a little bit intimidating. Now, this one does not have glass on it. Okay, hold on. We're talking about insects. We're going to learn about all kinds of cool insects. These are all the flies. And flies, if you count their wings, it looks like they only have 1 pair of wings. The second pair of wings is actually a really, really tiny gyroscopic mechanism that counter-rotates. You can actually see it on this insect here because he's big enough.
Wait, this one?
This one right here. I'm pointing at his little gyroscopic mechanism right there. I don't know if you can see that.
Oh, I see it.
Yeah. And that's what happened to the second pair of wings. Tim, you're wiggling me.
It's not focusing.
Yeah. So they essentially have what starts out as 2 wings, but one of them modifies itself. Okay?
Come on, focus.
Now, if you look at this, we'll pull out this great big spider wasp. You can see really obviously that this guy has 2 pairs of wings and 6 legs. And actually, this is a girl. And spider wasps run along the ground, so they have those really strong legs, and they are hunting spiders. But 2 pairs of wings, 6 legs, and 3 body parts. Right, Tim? Right, Tim? But sometimes that front pair of wings, Tim, is hard, right? Right? This one isn't scary.
Put the big
Okay.
one, the big ginormous
So,
one.
this is a Vietnamese walking stick. I actually got it from a zoo. He's pretty cool. They have chewing mouth parts, and their wings are just little wing pads, really. 6 legs, 3 body parts, and wing pads. But let's look over here at this great big longhorn wood boring beetle.
This one?
Yep. You see that front pair of wings is really hard, right? We think of beetles as having a hard shell. But that front pair of wings is actual wings, not a shell. And it's hard. It provides a little bit of lift, and it provides them with a little bit of protection. If we look down here at these ground beetles, that front pair of wings that is the shell is actually fused together. You can take a knife and remove that shell very carefully, and you will see vestigial or non-working wing pads underneath it. In some cases, not all, but For the most part, these guys don't fly because that front pair of wings has been fused together into a shell. These guys are scarab beetles that we actually find in Idaho, and they fly really loudly, and you'll often see them at night. We have all kinds of bugs in here. These are cockroaches, and cockroaches have 2 pairs of wings. They fly a lot. This great big one is a Madagascar hissing cockroach. I got that from my professor. But over here, these guys at the back, you'll see the wings on them. Cockroaches really aren't... Oh, yeah, we got a reflection on there, huh? Cockroaches really are not bad insects. They're scavengers, and they eat all the little crumbs that you leave on the floor. You're more likely to see this little tiny guy in your cabinets, but they don't really hurt anything. They don't really carry diseases. They're not bad. Now, Tim, can you think... Here, why don't you come stand up on your stool? Come stand up on your stool. Can you think of an insect that is important to your life?
I don't know. There's no insects.
No insects that are important? Well, we talk about bees being important. Here, look in this box. Tell me what's in this box. What are those?
They're butterflies. They're kind of scary.
We have butterflies and moths in this one. And this guy down here is actually a peach borer. And their babies, their larvae is what they call it. Their larvae will actually bore into peach trees and hurt the crop. Bees help pollinize. A lot of the homopteran insects are damaging to crops. Hemipterans are damaging to crops. They have piercing mouthparts, and they can carry viruses and all kinds of things for trees and crops. So for you first graders, I would like you to print this out and fill out the parts of an insect. And I'd like you to go outside and find an insect, take a picture of it, and post it. And tell me if there's anything you learned about where that insect lives, or if you have any questions about what you saw. Thanks for your time. Have a good weekend. Bye.